All right, the plan is to land flat, hit this one, land flat, hit that one, and then land flat and blow out knees. So when I was recording this video, there was a crazy amount of wind. So I'm going to be reacting and talking and vibing with you guys as we watch the very first day that I was in Niseko, Japan. It was incredible, but we're going to be following along. So definitely give this video a like. If you like this style, and definitely comment down below. All right, so we stayed in one of the absolutely creepiest like hotels ever. It was at the bottom of the mountain. And it is literally like ski in, ski out, or snowboard in, snowboard out. It was pretty cool, but it was super creepy. You can see in the background, like this thing looks super freaking awkward, but that's okay. And then this is walking up. So this whole time I was filming with like an instant 360 video, trying to get as many different angles and shots, and I wanted as many flexibility as possible. But of course, as we show up for the very first time, our ski passes did not work. So we were hoping that we could just show up and the passes work. We had to go to the office and then we came back and it was all good. And then we're sitting here in the gondola and they actually make you wear these little protective things over top. So every time you get in a gondola, they don't want you to scratch the roof, scratch the P-text or whatever, the windows. So you actually have to wear that every single time. And if you don't, you absolutely get yelled at, which is pretty freaking funny. And then, yeah, it's such a freaking amazing experience.
You'll see that hike when you get down there. You'll see people hiking up. Little hill if you want to drop in. You'll see the other chair down here.
Down here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries, man.
This guy was first turns in Japan 2023. Let's go. So that dude was like super cool. He was telling us all these secret spots. This is literally the very first turns we had. We got there in the afternoon, and so we just got in, checked into our hotel a little early, went snowboarding. Guys said there was a chairlift here, so we're trying to find it. We might need some speed. And there was absolutely like no indication of where we're going, what we're doing. So that was cool that that dude hooked us up, and then we just found some turns. This chair is a Lone Ranger chair. You literally are alone. That's fantastic. So here in a second, you're going to see one of the most ridiculous and wildest things I've ever been on. In America, you do not need bars. Well, apparently in Japan, you don't need bars. You don't need little side handles. You actually don't need much of anything, which is an absolute frightening type thing. So there's like, you hold on with your left hand as a regular rider, regardless if you're a regular goofy, you're holding on, and then you're on these little things. You could literally jump off, fall off at any point, and we're not even in our first run yet, and I'm freaking blown away. So far, the snow consistency, super freaking light, and we're at like 1,300 meters, which is actually not high at all. And there's no bar, and I'm just literally holding on. This thing is freaking wild. Our goal is to go up, who knows, and go down. I'm freaking pumped. This is insane. This looks absolutely amazing. Oh, so stoked. Yeah, and that's my boy Sean back in the background. He's vibing with me. He's gonna be vibing. You'll see him once in a while. He's not a big fan of just being on camera. He's just kind of chilling. But look at these things. We're almost to the top. Can you see that we can't see anything? You really cannot see anything. Again, this is our first day, first runs, like have no idea what's going on. We hopped on a chairlift, we went to another chairlift, and then we're just hoping to find our way around Japan. And there's like these little markers of indication, but only for like 10 feet, and then you literally have no idea. So we safely made it to the top. We didn't die, so that was probably a good thing. And then it was cool because you could like spin around and like move around on those seats, but there's like no bar. I was saying in America, you don't need bars. You don't need them here either. We'll talk about some bubble life and some other stuff here in a minute, but yeah, it's so freaking wild. I can't see anything. I have no idea what's going on. This is amazing. I'm strapped in and we're gonna send it somewhere safely. Chairlift down here, down there, it's absolutely closed. But we're gonna try to just go straight to POW and try to see where we're going because we can't see anything. And we've been here too long and the lighting's getting even worse. So on that note, we're gonna send it.
I don't know if I trust the drivers around here.
Yeah, the drivers. Oh, I got a story. Come back, like towards the end or the next chairlift ride. I got a freaking story for you. You wanna send it? Okay, here we go. Come out. Oh, I went down my back. And so very first runs, like this is our second chair. This is actually our first run. And it is just absolutely snowing and dumping. And that's what you would expect for being in Japan. You literally just hope that there's going to be a lot of snow. And it was definitely what I had hoped for. There's definitely some things as we look out through, check out throughout the rest of this video. There's some like some awesome things and then some stuff that you would not expect. But yeah, we got to like ride a bunch of POW. And to describe the POW, I would say it's very similar to Colorado. It's low water content, which means that as you like spray, the water goes up or the snow goes up and it's super light, super fluffy because it's not super like heavy water content. So it just goes up. So you may take a spray and then all of a sudden just flies 15 feet in the air. And that was part of the biggest challenge about filming is I couldn't have Sean film me because I would just be in front. And one of the biggest problems with filming is as you're in front, you're just creating all these snow and this piles of blah, everything. So then when you were in the back, you couldn't get the shot. But then if you were in front, then I would get blasted. You couldn't get the shot. So it was definitely challenging to get the shot. Okay, a little shorter than expected, but sick. Those guys are going uphill. I don't even know if there's a downhill. The other thing I'm going to do is just watch some other snowboarders and figure out where they're going. What do you guys think of the new outfit too? I've been sponsored by 686 for 3 years now, and they've sent me some sick gear, and I thought this would be really sick to be able to see while filming in the frickin' lowlights. You might not know this, but I ride camber snowboards. Camber. And when I went to Japan, I rode a camber snowboard. My thought was I want to be able to send it and do like flips and land tricks and ride switch. I do have a paddleboard, but I also wanted to just see what it's like in my normal habitat. All right, we're going vibing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I was surprised on how amazing it was to actually just ride camber boards. But look how many chairlifts are here, but not a lot of them are running unless it's like a weekend and there's so many people. So you can definitely navigate the mountain, but you need a lot of people. I want to review that first little section for having a camber board, for having pow as deep as it was. That was absolutely not an issue riding this board. No setback, straight park, like literally Big Bear, Japan, no change. At the end of the day, why, right? You know, maybe if snowboarding in pow is a little challenging, you might need to do it, but I really wanted to see how it went, and I think we're doing good so far. Maybe the hoodie's not, but it's not my problem, it's his. So when it comes to riding in a hoodie, we discovered you get a lot of snow on it, but it doesn't really matter if you stay outside. As soon as you go inside, the problem is the snow melts, it saturates your hoodie, and then it's a miserable experience. So it was kind of a cool little thing. A couple other videos I'm going to be posting is I rode in a hoodie and I put it on my Instagram and stuff, but you literally don't, I didn't need a jacket as long as you stayed outside, and it was a nice, fun little life hack to make sure you didn't go in for lunch, that you literally just kept snowboarding. So Sean in the back here is vibing, but I was really hyped on the 686 gear. Like I said, I've been riding for them for a couple years. It's been incredible. And I really loved wearing a bright outfit just so that we can get the shot. It can be sick, it can be seen, you know, and it was pretty cool. So as we're riding down, there's like all these little stashes. This is probably, I think this is like a Wednesday midday. And there's so many little POW stashes like everywhere. And we're not trying to like adventure off. We're really just trying to be able to navigate up the mountain, back down to our hotel without getting lost. I think that's probably a good cautious play, is go ride up and be able to make your way down. So then later, if you ever get lost, you feel like you can make your way down. And then as you're riding around, there's definitely a lot of POW. All right, I think we dip in just a little bit. Oh, we got some sun. What the? I see a pillow. I'm losing it. So what I was saying, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, and then, yeah, you can get stashes of POW, but there's a lot of people that ride the main trail. One thing I'm hesitant about is just knowing the area, because I could like easily send that thing. But then what? There's like a freaking stomp, a small child, alligators, kangaroos. We're trying to stay alive. We got a whole freaking 2 weeks here. And like I said, so yeah, you could definitely find some really sick stashes, but there's a lot of places that are super popular and they're very like kind of tracked out, the normal places. So you want to make sure that you have the snow consistency has changed just a little bit. It's like a wee bit wetter. Not a big deal, still sluffy, but just a little different, which is Sluffy. I meant to say fluffy, but yeah, as you just ride around, it gets tracked out, and that's totally fine. You just got to find some like different stashes, some different areas, and just really find those pockets. But in terms of like being able to be in a strong body position and having a camber board was actually super positive because I was able to handle all the tundra, the gnarliness, the choppy stuff when it was there. Because
I could
not
be wrong,
100% just pow all the time.
but I feel like the core is broken.
Oh.
I feel like the tail has a little extra,
Extra give to it now.
yeah, a little extra flex. I think I was riding the other day and broke the board, but which means you gotta be a better snowboarder, right? Don't be so trapped.
You just break it off. You'll have a better board.
How to board? Break it off.
Oh, well, I'll snap it off.
Why not, right? From what I could tell, there's no chairlift running over here. So we gotta hit something to go back up there. Oh, that chairlift, the gondola is running again. Cruising back down to the main chair that we just rode. See if we can find our way back to something fun.
And it's a little bit of an eerie feeling with all these chairlifts not running. We definitely wanted to try to explore a couple different areas. So we were essentially like, okay, if we can get back down to our place, but let's go dip into the trees. Let's go dip into a lot of different stuff. But as you get lower in the elevation, it quite a bit changes. Like it gets a lot heavier. So if you could stay up in the high parts of the mountain, the snow is definitely a lot better. And it's consistently snowing. But the challenge is, you know, obviously we got out here in the afternoon, but the challenge was we got there in the afternoon. So a lot of it got packed out. But if you're out there like first run, first turn, absolutely amazing. In the morning, you will find some untouched stuff. But just like any resort riding, you're going to find that it gets blown out. Luckily, sometimes you have these storms that refill all those runs pretty rapidly. So if you're like come back in an hour, a lot of times it's pretty freaking snowy, which is freaking awesome.
Here's a cool look at our outside of our hotel. Look at that thing. Might be super small, but sick enough. All I'm stoked on is that we made it back to a chairlift and it wasn't closed. So let's get started. Now I think on this run, we'll explore a couple little lanes. Should be sick. All right, we're going for a walk. We have no idea where. We just saw some random skiers going somewhere and we looked at a map. Looks pretty sick. We are gonna go for another adventure. A little story time. So we're driving here from the airport. Let me clean the lens real quick. And we're cruising, not a big deal. We're having fun. Sean's driving, having a great time. And there's so much room on the road. And this guy got real nervous. This guy was super nervous and started giving plenty of space. So much space that homie drove into a snowbank and just got stuck. And there's probably like 12 feet between us and them. And kept going to the right, kept going to the right, kept going to the right, and absolutely got stuck in a snowbank. Such a bummer. But it looks like this hike was very short-lived. I thought we were going somewhere sandy, and we might be, but look. We can go higher. Looks like we're going higher. We got a two-seater, so we're not alone. I think we have to go to the other side. Y'all probably can't see it on the camera, but we were over there earlier, and I got the sun, and we got people around here, so that's probably a good thing. If we get buried, we'll be all right. But overall, if you ever get a chance to come out to Japan to go shred POW, you got to do it. It's such an absolute snowboard dream to come out here, and just super stoked to even be here. Especially when I wasn't even supposed to be here from hip surgery. If you guys have been following along, I talk about it in a sense of appreciation. I busted my hip last year, spent almost 3 months just hobbling around, pissed and not stoked. And now, after hip surgery, I was supposed to be not even here all season. So everything here has all been a bonus this season, and I definitely am alive and stoked. I really want to do a backflip. Will you do one?
We gotta find a spot. That's why it wasn't worth going back down to where we already saw, but there was no spot.
If there's not a spot, then what are we really doing? The thing is, we need something like a stable platform to pop from. We need a POW landing that's not absolutely chundered out. I'm decent at backflips, but I'm definitely not trying to just chuck myself into a mogul field. Yeah, so we're gonna see what we can find.
And then there's like on the top of here, it's really hard to tell, but there's actually speakers and they're saying something in Japanese. I totally don't know what they're saying, but I'm assuming it's like get prepared to get off the chairlift. And then as soon as you get out of the chairlift, you have no idea what's going on. And a lot of these chairlifts don't even have bars. You can see behind us, there's not even bars in these chairlift. In Europe, I think it's law to have bars, but here, you really don't need them. So we're going to go to the top. We're cruising down, and we're just trying to freaking vibe and have the best time of our life. One thing, you just got to put yourself in a body position to always be ready for anything, because with not being able to see the terrain, you can't really always anticipate what's going to happen. But if you put yourself in a better balance and stronger body position, as weird things start to happen, then you're going to be able to stay on your feet. Overall, I was able to stay on my feet quite a bit just by using that tactic of putting yourself in the right body position. And then you see that's this is another one of those like single person chairs where you don't get the ride with a friend.
Definitely went on my nostrils. I got a lot of snow up my nose. So. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Sending it, huh? That's a chairlift with a Gandhi.
So now we're cruising again, and one of my favorite things to do is just spray snow so that you make this massive cloud and then you ride through it. Again, it's not sick at all for filming, but it is sick for riding and vibing, and not sick if you're following me. People hate snowboarding behind me because I'm just here to have a good time. I spray snow, I have a good time, and the people who are behind me are like, I can't see anything. And then when you create these giant freaking, like they're called like white rooms, and sometimes you'll like spray a bunch of snow and you can't see. So then all of a sudden you're like, I don't know where I'm going. So that's what I was talking about with like filming. I think there's not a lot of content that's filmed here because the amount of energy to actually film is really, really challenging. You would have to have somebody with a camera and they set up and you do a turn, and then you both move down, you do a turn. And we're talking a turn and, let's just say like a 1.5 to 2 minute setup time, and then do a turn, a minute setup. It just like ends up being super inefficient. So I could see why it's really hard. And then you might need a helicopter. You probably get some really good shots, but I'm not doing a helicopter. You have a drone. I don't think drones were allowed. So it's like really challenging to get the shot. So I was like, that's why we're doing this style of video, just to be able to hang out, vibe, do something a little bit different, just because I want to just be able to talk through this. This has been really cool. And then these trees can be super fun. In Colorado, we get some kind of aspen trees, but these trees end up being like super cool because the snow will fall everywhere. And then as people are scared to ride close to trees, there's a lot of fresh snow there. So people are trying to avoid that. And then you can find these really sick pow slashes, as you just saw, that as I exited the run, there's just like pow turns on the side of the run because people don't want to ride the side.
This is, but it looks fun.
Oh yeah, and then you can dip into like certain trees like this. Some trees are definitely like a lot more popular than others, and they become very like border crossy. They have a lot more bank turns, and then people get stuck, and then you kind of just hope they're okay and you keep going. But you get these places that are definitely a lot more tracked out, a lot more popular, but you're definitely trying to find places that are not that. And then you cut your boy off because my bad, you get little drops, little sessions, you try to find these things. But we're talking about earlier, it's just hard to know what's behind them. Is it a gnarly drop? Is it a cliff? Is it just a tree, a fallen tree down below? You really don't know. And obviously these guys get an insane.
So we're gonna go to the top of this chair, and this is gonna be our last two skip run. If you don't know what that is, you never call it L run, L word, L run. So we're gonna do top to bottom. So make sure you subscribe, but definitely watch to the end and subscribe if you're digging any of this content. Definitely gonna have some more. All right, as I was saying, this is gonna be our dub skip run before the battery died, but the battery died, and here we are. So we're traversing across, trying to get back to our hotel. But it looks like if we have enough time, we'll get another one in. But we shall see. The first part is navigating these crazy worlds where you can't see anything. Big shout out to Sean for testing my Bennett hoodie in Japan. I may or may not have brought a Bennett hoodie. All right, so we were here earlier. That was that double seater. watch a Tommie Bennett video and it'll tell you to follow someone else's path. You just can't see it. So how are you gonna see it when you can't see it? Oh, rip. All right. So on that note, Niseko Village walk through. Okay, that's an option. I don't know. I think she was talking to me, but we're not. Doesn't matter.
And then your spatial awareness or your internal mapping system when you go to a brand new resort and you have no reference, really hard.
Okay, so the small walk conversation we had earlier is what I think we might be going. Remember that hike we did earlier? Follow somebody else's path. I figured out where we're going. Follow the line. Oh, she almost ate it. Oh. But now it's all up here. Pretty sure that this board is broken. Let's see if we can take a look at it real quick.
You can kind of see it right there. Kind of see it.
So right now it looks like a top sheet wound. When I was doing that, I feel like it's not broken all the way through. I think it's broken halfway. You can kind of feel give, but not on the toe edge. Rip. If I was a better snowboarder, then I wouldn't have broken it, I think. I think we should do something like this.
Sure.
So this is what we were talking about earlier. We were going to go down. And now, the time has come to absolutely send it. One of the biggest things that's actually, look at this reflection. Yeah. One thing we were talking about earlier is when you get absolutely white rooms when there's a bunch of snow and you can't see, the white rooms last like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Not really, more like 5 seconds.
You think you're getting bored?
And then you literally might run into a tree. So you got to be very aware of your surroundings. But you can definitely throw snow in front of you or behind you. It's definitely a skill, but reflecting. Well, at least if I'm in an avalanche, you at least have a little chance to find me. You want first dibs?
Take it.
Shoot, what a guy. All right.
Oh, there's plenty. Look at how much there is.
There is plenty. He is true. I'm going to go down and turn and not die. What's up?
You gotta keep making it left.
Okay, go left. Okay, go right.
Hey, Steve, go.
And literally we waited for this turns all day and they built up and yeah, it leads to like a catwalk soon.
Half the time I can't even see this.
But it literally was like eyeing us like all day, but we were scared to go down it because we didn't know where it would end up as we were talking about. So we ended up like just saying, why not? And if we can't make it, who cares? We'll figure it out eventually. And then so when you're at like Niseko Village or Niseko, there's like multiple base areas.
Let's freaking go. There's at least one absolute insane turn. I'm not gonna lie, after this Japan trip, I'm thinking about doing a road trip. So if you like these style of videos, definitely subscribe and follow. I just got pounded my mouth. We're gonna be doing more of these, so yeah, definitely follow. Because we're gonna go do a road trip or try to go heliboarding. If you have any recommendations of sick places to ride spines, let us know in the comments down below.
And I said spines. We're trying to find like gnarly spines to ride down and have a good time. Kind of like the boy Travis Rice. I don't know the dude, but that dude's a god and like be able to ride some insane stuff. It sounds fun.
Absolutely not a bad day at all. We definitely got here a little late, but at least we got to go ride and go shred. Again, if you're digging the content, follow. And on that note, we're going to end this there. Got a lot more Japan videos coming out. So I appreciate, love you all. You're amazing. We out.